Have you ever wondered how depression intersects with Christian faith? Depression, a term we hear often, is a complex mental health condition that affects millions globally, irrespective of their race, gender, or religious beliefs. Yes, that's right. Even within the Christian community, there are many who grapple with this invisible enemy called depression. At this juncture, it becomes crucial to debunk some common misconceptions that exist about depression within the Christian community. One of the most prevalent misbeliefs is the notion that depression is a sign of weak faith or lack of spiritual discipline. The truth, however, is different. Depression is not a result of insufficient prayer or a lack of faith. It is a mental health condition that could affect anyone, regardless of their spiritual strength or fervor. Just as physical ailments do not discriminate based on spiritual beliefs, mental health conditions like depression do not either. It is not a reflection of your relationship with God or a consequence of spiritual shortcomings. Unfortunately, there exists a stigma around mental health in some Christian circles. This stigma can sometimes create an environment of guilt and shame, making it even harder for those suffering to seek help. It's important to remember that acknowledging one's struggle with depression does not mean one is denying the power or mercy of God. Instead, it's about recognizing that we live in a fallen world where pain and suffering are real experiences, even for the faithful. It's about understanding that, as Christians, we believe in a God who empathizes with our struggles, who himself was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. To see depression in this light is to see it as part of the human experience, not as a spiritual failure. It's about compassionately acknowledging the struggle, rather than judging it. So, as we delve deeper into this discussion, let's remember this fundamental truth. Depression is not a spiritual failure, it's a human experience. And in our human experience, we are not alone. Our faith assures us that there is hope, healing, and a God who understands our deepest sorrows. So, how should Christians respond to depression? Well, the first step is empathy. Empathy is about understanding and sharing the feelings of others. When we empathize, we step into someone else's shoes. We try to feel their pain and understand their struggle. And this is fundamental to the Christian faith. Jesus himself was the embodiment of empathy, compassion, and love. He didn't just sympathize with our weaknesses, he empathized with us. And that's what we are called to do as well. Understanding is the next crucial component. Depression is a mental health condition, not a choice or a character flaw. It's important to recognize this and to dismiss any misconceptions or stigmas associated with it. Remember, everyone is fighting a battle we know nothing about. So let's strive to understand, rather than judge. Supporting those struggling with depression is also a key aspect of the Christian response. Support can come in many forms, from lending a listening ear, to offering comforting words, or simply just being there when needed. The aim is to let them know that they are not alone. Christian faith encourages love and compassion towards everyone, and this includes those with mental health conditions. We are called to love our neighbors as ourselves, and this love should extend to every person, regardless of their struggle. Then, there's the role of prayer and faith. Prayer is a powerful tool that can provide comfort and solace in times of distress. It's about taking our worries, our fears, and our struggles to God and trusting that He hears us. Faith, on the other hand, is the assurance that God is with us in our struggles and that He can bring about healing and restoration. In conclusion, Christianity compels us to show compassion and understanding towards those battling depression. It's about empathizing with their struggle, understanding their condition, supporting them in their journey, and using the power of prayer and faith to find comfort and solace. Remember, as Christians, we are called to love. And what is love if not the act of understanding, supporting, and empathizing with our fellow human beings in their times of need? Christianity compels us to show compassion and understanding towards those battling depression. But what does the Bible say about depression? Throughout the scriptures, we encounter numerous figures who grappled with feelings of sorrow, despair, and depression. One such person is Job, a man of great faith, yet who experienced profound suffering. Job's story is a testament to the reality that even the most faithful can be touched by depression's dark shadow. His anguish was so great that he cursed the day of his birth, an unmistakable sign of emotional pain. Then there's King David, a man after God's own heart, who also faced periods of intense despair. In the Psalms, he frequently expressed feelings of deep sadness and hopelessness, often crying out to God in his distress. Psalm 42, verse 11, for instance, David asks, "Why, my soul, are you downcast? Why so disturbed within me?" His words resonate with many who have felt the weight of depression. These stories from the Bible don't just highlight the presence of depression in the lives of believers. They also emphasize the importance of expressing our feelings honestly before God. Job and David didn't hide their pain. They brought it before God in raw, unfiltered prayers. They show us that it's okay to feel down, to feel depressed. It doesn't make you any less of a Christian. In fact, it makes you human. Let's also remember Elijah, the prophet who, after a significant victory, found himself under a broom tree wishing for his own death. This is yet another clear example of a godly individual experiencing feelings we would today associate with depression. These examples should encourage us that we're not alone when we face such feelings. They're part of the human experience, even for those deeply committed to their faith. Depression is not a sign of spiritual failure. It's a reminder that we live in a broken world. But take heart, for even in the midst of our darkest moments, God promises to be with us. The Bible shows us that even the faithful can experience depression. What steps can Christians take to seek help and healing from depression? Depression, like any other health issue, requires appropriate attention and care. It's essential to understand that seeking help is not contrary to faith, but rather a part of God's plan for healing. God works in mysterious ways, and one of them is through the compassionate hearts and skilled hands of mental health professionals. First and foremost, do not hesitate to seek professional help. Engage with therapists, psychologists, or psychiatrists who have the knowledge and tools to guide you through this journey. They can provide you with strategies to manage your symptoms, and in some cases, medication may be recommended. Remember, this doesn't mean you're failing in your faith. On the contrary, you're embracing the resources God has provided for your well-being. Alongside professional help, continue to nourish your spiritual health. Engage in prayer, meditate on scripture, and participate in your faith community. These are powerful tools for healing, offering comfort, hope, and a sense of belonging. They remind us that we are never alone in our struggles. God is always with us, providing strength and peace in the midst of our storms. Let's also talk about the importance of sharing your journey with trusted individuals in your life. This could be friends, family, or members of your church community. By opening up about your experience, you not only unburden yourself, but also allow others to offer support, encouragement, and love. And remember, God often works through people. So, the help you receive from a mental health professional, the comfort you find in spiritual practices, and the support you get from your community are all ways in which God is reaching out to you, offering healing and hope. Never forget that taking steps to address your depression is a testament to your strength and courage. By seeking help, you're not denying your faith, but expressing it in a profound way. You're acknowledging that you are a precious child of God, deserving of care, love, and joy. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but an act of strength and courage. So, what have we learned about depression and Christianity? We've taken a journey today, exploring the intersection of depression and Christianity. We've learned that these two areas, often seen as separate, actually intertwine in many ways. Depression is a real and serious issue that affects people from all walks of life, including Christians. It's not a sign of weakness or lack of faith, but a complex mental health condition that requires understanding and compassion. In the Christian response to depression, we've seen that faith doesn't exempt anyone from experiencing depression. It's crucial to remember and emphasize that having depression doesn't mean you're failing as a Christian, nor does it mean God is punishing you. It simply means you're human, dealing with a human condition. We've also delved into biblical perspectives on depression, exploring how various figures in the Bible experienced periods of despair and how they found solace and strength in their faith. We've seen how the Bible can offer comfort, but it is not a replacement for professional help or therapy. Speaking of which, we've underscored the importance of seeking help and healing. Whether it's reaching out to a trusted person in your life, seeking professional help, or finding solace in your faith, it's essential to remember that there's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's a brave and necessary step towards healing. And finally, we've discussed the role of faith in dealing with depression. While faith can provide comfort and hope, it's important to remember that it works best in conjunction with professional help. It can help you navigate the stormy seas of depression, but it cannot replace the need for a sturdy boat, which in this case is professional mental health support. Depression doesn't discriminate, and neither should our compassion and understanding. Remember, you are not alone, and help is available. Your journey might be difficult and filled with challenges, but always remember that it's okay to ask for help, to lean on your faith, and to take it one day at a time. You are stronger than you think, and you are never alone. Remember to trust God and let God.